the price of Pulse has started to pump. David King here, founder of PulseShib, a DeFi meme coin that went up 24.7x in under 30 days. So the PulseChain ecosystem is going insane right now. And this has all been led by the Atropa and the PDAI ecosystem, because they started the pump, and then now we're starting to see it drag up PulseChain. And there's a few tweets that I want to take a look at, right, before we get into and unpack all the alpha that's happening right now. We've got the first one from Deepcatcher. It says, feels like a changing of guard is taking place right now in Hexico. Do you feel like you are on the right side of the power transfer or the wrong side? I prefer to look at it from a different perspective. There is a winning side, and then there's the other side. And the way you win in crypto is pretty simple. You win with green candles. The more green candles you have, that's what winning feels like. And we've got to look at it in perspective, right? We've got to look at it in perspective. And then we've got another tweet here that I saw on from Crypto J. Never forget what Hex Whales did. They preached to stake 555 while keeping their bags liquid. They perma-dumped Hex for their lavish lifestyle. They disrespected you by showing off their Hex flex. So we've got all that. We get the sentiment there. But the one thing that that is true as well is that obviously Richard Hart spoke about this, right? That the way PulseChain grows is by onboarding new projects.
It's different. Hex scales with monetizing time. It's the only coin in the world that does it. Whereas Pulse scales with network effect and adoption by other projects. So in Pulse, you have hundreds of different coins that have their sales pitches as to why people want to participate.
So this was always going to happen when you have a lot of new projects come and kind of steal the spotlight from this. And also we also have a lot of disgruntled people in the ecosystem, as we've seen from the tweets, and then we see also from the sentiment in the market. So people are starting to move on to other coins, especially when they start to see these green candles and these really good charts. And we've got to get to this right. Now, the people that are left in the market right now in the PulseChain ecosystem, they are not weak hands. They are not dumb money. These are hardcore, dedicated people who are committed to the crypto space. Why? Because look at what we've been through. We've been through the outrage marketing phase. We lost a lot of people during that phase, right? We've been through 2 years of wait time for PulseChain, right? We lost a lot of people during that wait, right? We went through the launch, which went perfectly flawless, but then we dipped below sack price, which lost also a lot of other people. And then we got other FUD coming from external forces who want to keep PulseChain down. So the people that are in the market right now are not weak hands. They're diamond hands. They're people who are not really swayed easily. But then when you start to see people jump onto the other side, it's because obviously this is again something that was predicted, that this is how PulseChain scales, by attracting new projects. And the new projects are coming and they're now giving gains. So I think that that's a good thing. Now, what PDAI has been able to do really is really flip it, right? They broke PDAI, in essence, kind of broke Hex, broke PulseChain. And the reason why I'll say it is this: the community from the beginning was a community of maximalists. So despite the fact that the growth of PulseChain depends on new projects, it's been really extremely difficult to break through that firewall of maximalism. Because if you want to have projects that go viral on PulseChain, that's a wall that has to be broken through, right? People have to embrace stuff that is being built. And PDAI were able to do it. Now, they did it in ways which you can, I don't know whether you like it or not, but definitely there's a lot of marketing of, is Richard Hart part of this? But if you were to ask me, I would say that the people at the top have a kind of a hint, have a sentiment that he's probably not a part of it. However, they used that as for marketing, and it was solid marketing. It was very effective marketing. It was marketing that really drove this thing's adoption to where it is right now. So hats off for that. And what they've been able to also do is now we're starting to see more money being bridged over to PulseChain. We're seeing more money being bridged over to PulseChain, which is a positive, a net positive for the PulseChain ecosystem. Because yes, they were able to break through with their strong marketing and have these great price performance, and now they're starting to bring in more people into the space. Now, in my view, this is just the beginning of an altcoin pump on PulseChain. And the beauty of altcoin pumps on PulseChain, for me, is simple. Not your keys, not your coins. On PulseChain, most PulseChain, PLS, PulseX doesn't have many exchange listings. So the same goes for the PulseChain projects, meaning hold your own keys, right? This is what real crypto is all about. So this is something that I think that is great. On a second note, right, I said that the green candles is the side that wins the war, right? If you have a battle of maximalists and non-maximalists, the one that has the green candles is the one that wins. And right now, the green candles seem to be on the side of altcoins. So what the breakthrough that Peter has been able to do is good for all altcoins on PulseChain. However, the only way to destroy that action is if you were to get a rug. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to happen or anything, but that's the only thing that I could see that could really stop the momentum. Because if you talk about dips, in crypto, dips happen, and there's no one who knows more about dips than the PulseChain ecosystem. So I don't think that the community that's rallying around are going to be perturbed by the dips. So I think that the dips are not strong enough to actually stop this momentum. What can stop the momentum is some real bad behavior if that is exposed. Besides that, I think that this is definitely what's going to be on the winning side. Now, if you're looking in terms of the PulseChain ecosystem, which tokens to get into, I say that I like PulseShib a lot. And obviously PulseChain, your Richard Hart tokens. But amongst the Richard Hart tokens here, right, I will say this, that I think that the dominant one will be PulseChain. Definitely PulseChain, because the PulseChain is the one that doesn't have much competition out of all of the RH ecosystem tokens. PulseChain, if you look at the trading pairs right now, PulseChain is the biggest used in terms of trading pairs on PulseX and on all the DEXs that are building on top of PulseChain. It's not the same story for PulseX. It's not the same story for Hex. So in terms of utility, we have more utility there. And if you look at PulseX is doing a great job in terms of burning PLSX tokens. I think there's over 400 billion PulseX has been burnt. 2% of circulating supply has already been burnt in the few months that we've been operational. So PulseX is looking good in terms of those tokenomics. However, PulseX does have significant competition from other players. I think that competition will continue to evolve. The reason why I think that's a big deal, right, is because obviously PulseX, right, if we were to start making assumptions that I think most of us can agree on, PulseX is run by Richard Hart, right? Richard Hart also is running the PulseChain mainnet somewhat, right? Somewhat obviously directing the devs, I would believe so. And then there's the bridge. So you've got PulseChain, you've got the bridge, and then you've got also other infrastructure that's on the side that we may not know about. Now, this stuff takes in a lot of energy and a lot of time. So for him to be managing all that stuff and still maintain that and still keep PulseX ahead of the pack in terms of competition, I don't know if that's possible. So I do think that PulseX will have competition. Hex is very much entrenched and strong, as a strong base of community. And but what I would like to see is in terms of onboarding, I don't think it can onboard as well as some of these new degen coins that are launching, right? So you can tell me what you think in the comments below. But guys, good arguments, okay? Good arguments, because I do get a lot of alpha in the comment section, but sometimes I just get some non-alpha. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. I say, okay, that's not a point. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and as usual, cryptocurrencies are risky. As we venture into this degen forest, stay safe.